Bad Wolf here. For today's deck tech, I want to talk about my budget tiny leader Dexus deck. I did a red-white one with Annex and Cyanide, and so now you get a blue-white one, so you can battle against each other. At least that's the goal, and we're going to have some gameplay footage once I finish building them, and we'll battle them out, and it'll be exciting, because, yes. So, I'm just going to talk about my top 5 favorite cards in here, just like I did with the Annex and Cyanide. I'll leave a link to the full deck list down in the description below, so you can check out the full deck list there, and it's budget, so you should be able to pick up everything for under $50 total. Lands included, because lands are very tricky to do with dual-colored lands. It's really kind of frustrating sometimes, seriously. Dexus of Meletis is our tiny leader. He costs 3 mana, 1 colorless, a white, and a blue for a 2/2 legendary human soldier. Now, he also has the text where he can't be blocked by any creature with power 3 or greater. Sweet! Sweet! Especially once you pump up his toughness to more than that. You're good. You're set for life. Seriously, you can't basically kill him. It's ridiculous. Oh, his second text ability, though, is just awesome. So whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top card of their library. You gain life equal to the mana cost of said card. And then until end of turn, you may cast that card, and you may spend mana as if it were any color. So even if you are playing a deck that has none of the colors in your deck, you are fine, you're good. You can freaking play that card that is on the top of their library. What? This guy is disgusting. I do not want to play against him, but I really want to play the red-white deck. I'm in a pickle. Number 5 on my list of top 5 is Aqua Asst form. 1 blue mana to enchant a creature, and it can't be blocked. Awesome. And then whenever it attacks, you get a scry 1. Sweet, fantastic. This thing just helps your draws in the future. They can't block the damage. You can just pump that creature up as big as you can because this is a heroic deck and just destroy your opponent. This is used in the standard blue-white deck, heroic decks, and it's going to work fantastic in this one. Card number 4 is Eidolon of Countless Battles. I love this card. It's 3 mana, 1 colorless, 2 white. You can also bestow it for 4 mana, 2 colors and 2 white. And it starts off at a 0/0, but it gets +1/+1 for each creature on the battlefield, and +1/+1 for each Aurora on the battlefield. So it can get really big really fast, especially if you have a deck that has a lot of those, which we do, so it's all good. That's what I like. Card number 3 is Battlefield Therm. For 2 mana, 1 colorless, and a blue, you get a 2/1 creature that says, for all your instants and sorceries you have, they cost 1 colorless mana less to cast for each creature you target. Which is awesome when you have things like Aerial Formation and Launch the Fleets. Instead of in Launch the Fleets having to pay 1 white and then 1 more colorless mana for each creature you target, you just pay 1 white and target everything. It's ridiculous. So ridiculously awesome. So yeah, I really like that about him. And he also has the heroic ability that whenever you cast something on him, he gets hexproof. So that's pretty sweet, and you can protect him pretty easily with that. Like, pump him up, make him bigger, he has hexproof. Woohoo! It's great. Card number 2 in this list is Sage of Hours. 2 mana, 1 colorless, and a blue for a 1/1 creature that has the heroic ability whenever you trigger him, he gets a +1/+1 counter. Yeah, I know, there's a lot better creatures with this heroic ability, but whenever you remove all +1/+1 counters from him, you get to take an extra turn for every 5 counters you have. I like to call him the Doctor Who in my deck because you get to take extra turns. You're basically like jumping in the TARDIS and taking extra turns. Anyway, I really like this card a lot. Alright, and my favorite card in this deck, number 1, is Hidden Strings. 2 mana, 1 colorless, and a blue that says you may tap or untap target permanent. Then you may tap or untap another target permanent. So in this case, I'm getting 2 heroic triggers out of it for 2 mana, which is fantastic. This card also has Cipher, which means you get to exile this spell and code it on a creature, and then whenever that creature deals combat damage, you get to copy and play the spell again without having to pay the mana cost. So you put it on something that's unblockable, and you're basically getting two more heroic triggers every time combat damage is dealt, and things get out of hand very, very quickly. The blue-white heroic deck I built for standard when this was legal was ridiculous to play against when you got like one of these out, because it's basically triggering heroic twice a turn on something you can't handle, and you have to figure out how to get rid of, and then you have things like God's Willing and a Johnny's Presence and just destroy every hope you have of winning against this deck. It's awesome and fantastic, and I love it in this deck. Seriously, I don't like playing against it at all. It just makes it frustrating. But being on the side that it's on is great. So those are my top 5 favorite cards in this deck. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a link to the script or to the rest of the deck list below, and then you can go check it out there. But let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe for more.